No Messiah is coming to save Nigerians. If you're thinking in terms of a Messiah, then you obviously have a wrong perception of both the problems of Nigeria and the solution to the Nigerian problem.
President at the paragraph called for, peace, for kindness, pretty much all that jolly Eid and Eid Mubarak to all of our Muslim brothers out there. But we always hear this every year. And have you wondered why has wickedness increased in Nigeria?
Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you once again to our today's episode of this program. And today we get some videos for our table. We're going to be one quickly the review to you concerning the things going to be say it happen right now for inside this country, Nigeria. Just as you rightly see some from the introduction, the one want to be say we they receive from Barrister Dele Farotimi, the message going to be say is sent across to every one of us, and also the people when it be say if they ask them the reason why it be say in the throw his own weight behind Peter Obi. I would leave you to watch that video shortly, and equally the one when it be say we they receive from Rufai Useni, our award-winning journalist from Arise News. The message going to be say he equally sent across to Bola Tinubu for the message going to be say he sent across to Nigerians after their own Ramadan fast. Before then, we get this other message going to be say they receive from the federal government of Nigeria when it be say that they respond and counter Atiku Abubakar when it be the former presidential candidate of People's Democratic Party concerning the question and the inquiry when it be say in they make for their railway projects. And the title of this on top say Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Nigerian government counters Atiku reviews project costs. All right, may we do small reading from inside this very one before we bring you other videos. And before we go on, I beg, do us a favor, help us to like this video, because the more you like this video, the more YouTube they recommend them to people. Now their own policy now be that very one. Thank you so much for your support. And I support our hand for inside this matter. The come make us understand say the Minister of Works when it be say in name now David Umahi don't come outside to review to every Nigerian say the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway say it go cost 4 billion naira per kilometer, no be 8 billion naira per kilometer, as the reports claim by the former vice president and also presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the year 2023 election, when it be say in name na Atiku Abubakar. And still on top of the matter, the come make us understand say the minister, which is Dave Umahi, also dismissed the claim when Ibisi the talk said the project say it not follow due process. And as it go ahead to talk, said the contract said they award them on a counter funding basis and not be on a public-private partnership as they widely claim. And still on top of the matter, the come make us understand said Dave Umahi reviewed this very information when Ibisi appear as a guest on the television for Continental News Hour program on Wednesday for Lagos. And again the contour say, make we remember, say last week, Atiku Abubakar questioned President Bola Tinubu's administration's decision where he for allege say they award this very contract to the company where they say that they call Gibachagori's High Tech without any competition bidding, where if for dare the president to review the full cost of the Lagos-Calabar Highway project. All right, my great and wonderful people, now only this one fit take from this very message when it be say the presidency respond to Atiku Abubakar for the own demand for them to review the cost of the contract when it be say the award to this very company and the details of the things when it be say it follow them as well. Although because of time we not fit do the comprehensive reading, we'll leave you to find out the remaining information concerning that very one, even as we go on to review this very first video when it we receive from Barrister Dele Farotimi, where he be say if I respond to so many things when they say if they go wrong for this country. And equally, the people when they say that they ask why ABC if they throw his own weight behind Peter Obi. And you equally believe, say anytime when they say Barrister Dele Farotimi take come outside to speak, a lot of things they at stake. I bet pay attention to this very video, and after this one, we equally get another one when we say they receive from Rufai Useni. Watch this one first, we'll come back for more.
No Messiah is coming to save Nigerians. If you're thinking in terms of a Messiah, then you obviously have a wrong perception of both the problems of Nigeria and the solution to the Nigerian problem. No Messiah is coming. No vote is not be saving ourselves. It will take the collective to save Nigerians. So I do not think in terms of messiahs, and I do not believe that Peter Obi is a messiah. He is a good man. So to answer your question, I have met him. Not only met him, I spoke extensively with him in the lead up to my decision to support him. I met him as a member of Afenifere. I met with him as a member of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum. I met with him one-on-one. What I found important in taking my decision was his position as it related to, one, structuring of the Nigerian state, two, his views as to the need for the collective before Nigeria may be rescued. Now, if you're thinking in terms of a messiah, then you'll be looking at a single person waving a wand to save Nigeria or Nigerians from. It's certainly not a messiah, and I wasn't looking for one. I was simply looking for a good man with the right ideas who might be able to lead the revolution required to save Nigeria. So that was the basis of my support for Peter Obi. Shame. We have become so shameless as a collective, individuals, every collective in Nigeria, from the church group to the mosque group to unions, to neighborhood unions, to town unions, the level of shamelessness that has come to define and characterize our dealings is actually quite scary. So when you have a situation where the collective have problems with shame, where they are just simply shameless, what you find is that the people act in manners that may be deemed perverse, almost inhuman, completely devoid of reason or ration. Look around Nigeria. Let us look around. You find that corruption has been normalized in our society. And when I speak of corruption, I'm not just speaking to the corruption of the ruiners. A mechanic will tell you that one thing is wrong with your car, but it is something completely different that he's fixing. He extorts from you. The teacher would sell handout, would demand sexual gratification before passing a student. And he will feel no sense of remorse because all the other lecturers have their own thing going. My wife runs a supermarket. If you're not stealing money from the business, but you're stealing goods, you're just as much of a thief as the person stealing the money. If you are not stealing money or stealing good, but you are eating the products without paying for it, you are just as culpable as those who are taking both products and money. So a culture of stealing is engendered in the space because everybody is doing one thing or the other that they are not meant to do. You then develop a culture predicated on the normalization of abnormality. So yes, we can speak about the stealings of Jagaban, we can speak to the stealings of his chief of staff, we can point at our National Assembly, Akpabio and the them. But what about us as individuals, as a collective? Since we find themselves ruled by demons, it is the collective demonization of individuals that has led to the enthronement of demons in public office. Good people are rarely ever ruled by bad men and women. It is bad people who find excuses for evil that are ruled or ruined by bad people. So it is not well and good to point to the evil men and women ruling our country, but we also have a duty to examine ourselves as a collective. How did we get here?
All right, my great and wonderful people, I believe say una don't hear that total breakdown from Barrister Dele Farotimi. Just as we continue to the talk and say, no Messiah they come from anywhere to rescue this nation. If you not doing, me and not doing, we not join hands together, all of us will see the worst of this very nation. It not will come overnight and not be by magic. Now we must work them out by ourselves. All right, I'll leave you to share your own opinion concerning that very one with us for the comment section, even as I take you down to this other video when it be said we receive from Rufai Useni. The message when it be said it respond to Bola Tinubu message when it sent across to Nigerians during this end of the Ramadan fast. Here waiting Rufai Useni tell Bola Tinubu, I'll come back for more.
President at the paragraph called for, peace, for kindness, pretty much all that jolly Eid and Eid Mubarak to all of our Muslim brothers out there. But we always hear this every year. And have you wondered why has wickedness increased in Nigeria? We hear all these good messages every year, but wickedness has increased. It shows you something, the heart of man being desperately wicked. So, except we purge ourselves, we can say things with our mouth, but our hearts can be very bitter and dirty. Except we purge ourselves, we constantly have a society where people are being killed, people are being hurt, all sorts of judicial killings are going on in Nigeria, and there is no rule of law and justice except we purge ourselves. And this goes to politicians out there. You see, it's not just about identifying with different religion or of the Abrahamic faith during this religious season. The question is, where is your heart? Is your heart for the betterment of people, or your heart is for your own selfish interest? And most of the time, their heart is always for their selfish interest. That's why Nigeria has constantly remained. That's why probably when we'll have next Eid, we'll talk about this message of goodwill and peace and kindness, but wickedness will increase, except we change ourselves. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. That's my own Eid message this morning.
All right, my great and wonderful people, I believe say all of you don't hear that very one from Rufai Useni. God will bless you. And I believe if you compare this message with the first one when we receive from Barrister Dele Farotimi, you will understand, say, everything still boiled down to us and our leader. We still get a lot of role to play if truly we want to see the light of the day of this nation, just as each and every one of us, they dream about them. Nobody, no Messiah, they come from nowhere. May we change our mind, change everything when it concerns us, and also the way when we take they relate with one another. May we they think well for each other's favor. Yes, now the only way out now it be that very one. If not, all of us will they see the worst of this nation, even more worse than the one when we see today. This one not be bad prophecy, now the reality of life. Now it be that very one. All right, I'll leave you to share your own opinion with us in the comment section, even as we draw the curtain of this broadcast here. And before we say final goodbye, I beg not forget to help us like this video, because the more you like this video, the more YouTube they recommend down to people. Now their own policy now it be that very one. Thank you so much for your support. We'd like to draw the curtain of this program here. We'll see you again when we see you. Remember, we love you all. Bye-bye.